Hello, welcome back to another weekend of College Boy Taisen.
Hello, folks.
Depending on how future Ghia / editor Ghia is feeling, this is either coming out on the Saturday morning or Sunday morning. You know, it is what it is. But regardless, you know, I hope all of our viewers are having a wonderful morning, a wonderful weekend. It's fall. It's fall. You know, it's getting colder. It's getting close to Halloween. It's getting close to that scary times.
I don't get scared.
Jacob, do you have any Halloween plans?
You know, I don't know. I don't really like Halloween as much as everybody else.
I can feel that. I'm probably just gonna chill at home. Probably be the person that has to give candy out.
I don't like candy either. I'm not really a candy guy. I like Kit
Really?
Kats, but that's about it.
That's interesting.
Why, are you a big candy guy?
I wouldn't say I'm like a big candy guy, but I like myself some sweets. You know, I love myself some M&Ms.
I got a little bit of a sweet tooth, but I wouldn't say
I love
I'm
M&Ms.
not like,
Every kind
like
of M&M except for the caramel ones, I love.
You like Skittles? I like Skittles.
Skittles, I have to be in the mood for Skittles because they get stuck in my teeth very easily.
I'm a big fan of I like Starburst. Big on Starburst.
Actually, like all of the stuff that can possibly get stuck in my teeth, I don't like them. Starburst is like a
That's
big
fair.
one.
I respect that.
But we have some things to talk about today. We were struggling for a second topic this week, so we decided why not go with like, you know, some pretty quick, easy things.
Of course, we're always quick and easy on this podcast.
For real. But we have to start off with our bread and butter first. Kamen Rider Geats episode 6. Buffa's little arc going on. We find out more of his backstory.
Got your K1 Azuma agenda.
The Toei loves me. But Jacob, what did you think about Kamen Rider Geats episode 6?
Kamen Rider Geats episode 6. Really good, actually. I don't want to say surprising, because it's actually been good every week. So I'm actually surprised that it's still been good every week.
I can agree.
Impressive, I feel. I think this was a solid conclusion to the little. I feel like this is a solid conclusion to everything that's been going on. Not so much this arc, like this specific 2 episodes, is a good conclusion, but I feel like for this beginning portion of the show, because it feels like we're getting into the end of the beginning portion next week. With the
final round.
With what's it called? Yeah. Oh, my connection's dog shit right now. That's nice, but whatever. That's fine. We'll live. No, I think it's a good conclusion for this little beginning half, or not even half, quarter. I don't know. Whatever. Not the point. I'm repeating myself. But no, it's a good episode. It's good to see more of Azuma's backstory. See, look, I'm trying to not call him Buff anymore. But and it's not, and I'm glad my prediction was right of Mary's gonna get out like around episode 6. I'm glad I was close on that, or right almost. And
I'm gonna say we made a lot of predictions last week, and a lot of them have been unfumbled.
I mean, hey, we win some, we lose some.
We win some, we lose some. That's for sure. That's correct.
And I don't know. It's nice to see a little bit more development on Kawa. I feel like Ace and Neon took a little back half to this.
They were a cute little dynamic.
They're cute. I like them together, and not romantically, but you get what I mean. They're fine.
Yeah.
And the action was good. Boost
for sure.
Zombie for Buffa. And
we got to see the Boost Striker use it with a different animal. I
like that. I think that's cool. I really think that's cool. It's a shame it seems like it's like an in-show like a show production decision, not necessarily like a thing that they thought of originally, because like the Boost Striker toy doesn't come with any more animal heads. But, I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? But I mean, yeah, good episode. What did you think, Ghially?
I thought this week's episode was pretty good, you know, and I'm not just saying that from my Kawa Azuma shipping bias, but I think it was interesting to see Azuma's motivation, his backstory, the twist with Ace in his backstory. I think it very much... His character is already, like, in my opinion, 1,000 times more complex than it was by, like, episode 2. Of just like, oh, I hate all writers, they're all my enemy. Like a Taiga or an Oja. Or a Taiga from X.
Yeah.
Actually, I specify. Or like Oja. Like, it's already deeper than that. It's already kind of more of like a melancholic thing. And
it's not even like what we thought.
Yeah.
That Ace was like a direct part. Ace was literally just there.
It's so funny. His entire reason for being mad at Ace is Ace told him to forget his friend dying. He's, damn, no, I shouldn't forget that. I hate all of you. Fuck you.
I thought, oh, it's because, like, Geats fucked him over a previous game. No, Ace was literally like, well, your friend died. Move on.
Bro, Ace needs to stop telling people to forget stuff. Whenever he tells someone that, they join the Grand Prix. He's killing these guys.
Hey, forget about the Grand Prix. Fuck you, I'm joining the Grand Prix.
It's like, maybe the game master is, like, directly listening. He's like, yep, those two are next.
Yup. Fuck you, Ace.
Which is very interesting. We saw a tiny bit more of the game master, and he's like, oh man, I can't wait to see how you do, my precious Kamen Riders. Which, the way he said that was kind of worrying, you know?
The little flash of all four of them, and it's like, alright, buddy, chill out.
I was kind of worried by the way you said that, because, you know, it's kind of reminiscent of another character, but, you know, we're not going to talk about that.
Shouldn't we, though? I was actually going to bring that up when you mentioned him.
His posture means nothing, okay?
I don't think I stand like that. Yeah, okay, everybody stands like that. No, honestly, I don't know. I don't want to say I believe it's Dan. I don't believe it. I don't think it is. I think it would be more interesting and kind of funny if it was Dan, but I don't think it's gonna be Dan.
I don't know. Random. I don't know who I had this. I think it was Aki. I'll shout out homie Aki on Twitter. But I basically said to him on call the other day of like, Geats is going so good right now that I feel like if it was Dan, it would just genuinely bring down the story writing for me so much.
I wouldn't mind if there was a thing. I don't know what kind of thing it would be, but I wouldn't mind if there was some sort of alternate thing where it was Dan. Do you get what I mean? We saw like, not like, oh, I want to see, I don't know, I guess I do want to see a movie where it is Dan, but it's not Dan in the main show. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see like a, you know, how Ryuki changed its fucking ending like 10 times, or like 3, whatever it actually is. I think it's 3.
Yeah.
But like an alternate version of Geats where it's like revealed it is Dan. I feel like that'd be kind of funny. But I don't know how you would go about that, or how you would make that. I just think it'd be neat if there was something where it was Dan, but I don't think it should be Dan in the main show.
For me, it's just like, again, one of the big appeals of Kamen Rider that I think everyone can mostly agree with is that the universe of Kamen Rider is very disconnected. Like, it's only really connected for the movies, but aside from that, like, you can pick up any of the seasons and just watch. That's the big appeal. And I feel like, honestly, I feel like Geats, how it's going right now, is one of the ones that I feel like you can really just watch on its own without watching anything else and really get into. And just having Dan just, like, take off the mask and be like, do you remember me from the 45-episode season, plus all of these movies and specials that are very integral to my story and plot, and the trilogy Outsiders that also connected from Gen Presidents from 01? Like, it's like, alright, now I gotta watch all this other shit. Like, if someone hasn't seen it, like, sure, they can just watch it, but, like, if you truly want to understand the character and why he's here somehow, you'll have to watch so much other shit.
I think this is like a tangent a little bit, but I think it's funny that the original Dan, like, died, like, 23 episodes into X-Aid, and every other Dan has just been a copy or a clone in some way. I don't know. I just think it's funny. The original dude who went insane, yeah, he's been dead. We're just looking at copies now.
It's crazy, like, Dan has, like, canonically died, like, 4 times. But he keeps coming back.
It's not even, like...
Like, 4 times plus, like, the 100 he had in, like, the second half of X-Aid.
And even, like, this isn't like Dan wanting to come back. Fucking Guy brought him back. Guy was like, I need this guy back. For some reason. I don't remember what that reason was, but he just brought him back.
God.
I don't know.
Takahashi, please just stick to Geats right now, bro. You can stop writing everything else. Like I'm good. I want to see Ren and Dizaz back, but not that much, bro. I don't need to see all this.
One thing that does, your point of Ryder being disconnected, I sometimes do wish there was a little bit more connectivity in the main show. Not like oh, it's Dan Kuroda, but like I don't know, maybe some Aruto just shows back. I'm just using Aruto as an example. But like Aruto comes back for like a season as like 03 or something. You know what I mean? I've always I don't know. I want it like how Ultraman does it. Like, oh, here's Riku back in like 2 episodes of Zet or whatever. You know,
or for
like,
any,
you know, G Zero's like a main character for like half of the show.
Or for any
Or the whole
conspicuous
show,
reason, you know, at the end of one random season, they just throw in a human gear for no reason. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I don't know. I've always wanted to see it, but I sort of get like, I don't know. I sort of get why it's all disconnected, but I don't know if Ultraman can get away with it. I feel like Rider, in a lesser extent, and Sentai, you know, Kaito's and Dawn Brothers, but I don't know. I feel like I want to see Rider try to do it once, you know.
I think
Not so much like a sequel, but like
I must say,
bring somebody back.
I think Revice was that attempt. It was just really weird.
I get.
Because remember how, like for a majority of the show, like a majority of the show's discussion was like, so is this a Digimon Tamers or is it in the universe? like what?
I like the idea in the universe. There's just Rider toys.
Because George has SHFs and CSMs on the wall in a Kuga coffee cup.
I guess Revice was kind of that. I don't know. Just go full on. Bring someone back for like half a season. I don't know.
But also at the same time, I guess Saber's also real.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Kinoshita, what have you done?
I feel like they're just too scared to do it. Or maybe they want to keep like a... Oh, everything's disconnected until it needs to be. Which is fine. I respect that. But
Until we need a Taisen movie.
Hey guys, we need a crossover. Everything's connected. I don't know.
Gio, there's also Gio too, but you know, that's how I feel about Gio.
I wouldn't count. Gio's weird because it's like, I wouldn't count Gio necessarily because it's like that's the point of the show that like we see all these guys come back, and I guess Tsukasa kind of did what I'm asking for, but like he's kind of not in. He's only in like.
From what I hear from a lot of Gio people, a lot of people seem to consider Tsukasa the fourth rider more than Tsukuyomi.
I mean, yes, but no at the same time.
Man's
yes,
had a team henshin with the other 3 in the show.
I mean, I get he does count. He is kind of like he's not the actual fourth, but like he shows up.
He's there.
He does. He's there. He shows up. He does what I ask and gets a new belt and is there. But it's not so much like to the extent of Ultraman, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Steering back towards Geats,
sorry.
If we could reference last week where we came up with this crazy theory about what Ace was and about why he doesn't remember. We can throw that out entirely because he's just like, oh yeah,
I forgot about that.
He's just like, do you think I wouldn't remember Azuma?
What did we say? What did we say? I forget.
We said a crazy theory of like the original Geats was Ace, but like in the middle of the Grand Prix, his wish was to make someone else Ace so he could escape. It was an entertaining theory while it lasted.
Alright, new crackpot theory. The game master is old Ace. I don't know. Something like that.
He gotta die of old age.
Yeah, you're gonna... I don't know. I feel like it's... I don't know.
But it's interesting. Buffa... A lot of people said on Twitter, Buffa is like Tezuka from Miyuki. And if someone has watched Miyuki, that's kind of accurate, but like not really.
Is that Raya?
Yeah, that's the guy that wanted to end the games because, or end the Rider War because, you guys, peace. We don't need to kill each other. And like that's kind of what Buffa is. Buffa is more like all of us should just die.
Isn't Raya kind of like a shithead too?
Not really.
He actually does want peace.
He does want peace. Yeah, he from beginning to end, he's like Shinji's best friend.
Oh, that's good. Good for him.
But yeah, Buffa's kind of that, but like I guess less peaceful about it. He's just like
He wants aggressive peace.
all of us should not exist.
I like that his wish was. I don't know what I watched the GemCorp sub, so I don't know if it's the case for everybody. I think his wish was literally like, I want the power to beat all the Kamen Riders or something.
Yeah, depending on the subgroup, which is honestly, one of the big more interesting things about, the Desire sub pre, whatever we're calling it, with all the subgroups.
Mm-hmm.
And in some translations, it'll say, I want the power to be better than all riders, and others it just says, I want all riders to stop existing.
That's interesting.
So I don't know. It's interesting because one implies something darker than the other. Like one is just like, I want a new power up, and the other is just like, all of us need to stop existing forever.
I forget if this was in the podcast episode with Ballin, or it was a separate thing, or it was just this separate discussion we've had with Ballin. But Ballin said once basically that like the subgroups kind of write the show in a sense. Like they also write the show, which I think is an interesting way of thinking about it, because it's like, yeah, this is not, this is their interpretation of what they're saying. It's not like a direct being told what they're talking about.
It's crazy because, like translating from Japanese is an interesting thing in kanji and stuff, kind of. But it's like if you have like Izu subs from like the majority of the Reiwa era so far. Mm-hmm. The whole thing without Izu subs is that his stuff came out very quickly, but it wasn't really stylized for the characters. It was kind of more direct and literal. Mm-hmm. Where if you had someone like like maybe Flame subs, I'd say when it came to like Saber stuff, they really made their subs feel like, oh, their lines were written like for the personality of the character. Like, oh, it really feels like Ren would say that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it takes creative freedom and liberties.
And it's not necessarily, as you said, it takes liberty. So it's not really what they're actually saying. It's just kind of like, oh, this is what they're saying, but it's not necessarily exactly what they're saying.
Yeah, so the baseline is Buffa still sees all the riders as his enemies. But like I guess we can kind of take sub-clues or sub context clues from his actual backstory of seeing like the elephant man and the guy who was totally Kamen Rider Emperor. I'm dying on this hill. No, that was totally Kamen Rider Emperor.
Look like a deer. I think it's like, I think I saw like a screenshot. It's literally just a repainted Buffa helmet or something. I forget what it is.
And like those guys just kind of like, oh man, they messed up my friend and beat him up and left him to die and took his buckle and laughed while he died. Man, riders are evil. So I think both kind of fit.
Fuck this Fox guy. He just
it's more so all that just like one is a bit more depressing than the other, and the other's just like, all right, I'm getting my final form.
That's kind of funny. I wish for a final form. Really? You went through the whole tournament just for a final form? Okay.
Honestly, I feel like that might be what happens to TBH with like Ace or Kayla. I'm just like, I need the power to be as strong as Ace.
I forget what what the upgrade's supposed to be. One of them's supposed to be like you get 2 of the same buckle. I don't know. It's weird.
You get the boost mark 2s. Honestly, since I made the whole thread of like boost is supposed to be the power up for everyone, and like it's supposed to represent whose time it is to shine. I hope they stay consistent with that with each boost upgrades. Like, oh, if it's a boost to Mark 2, everyone gets to use the Mark 2. Or if it's a Mark 3, everyone gets to use the Mark 3.
It'd be kind of funny to see, like, everyone use a version of boost at, like, oh, Kayla gets Mark 1, and then Neon gets Mark 2, or whatever, what have you. I think that'd be a cool scene to see. But I like that idea that it's, like, this is actually a power-up. It's not necessarily, like, a random gimmick. And I do like that we see more of how it works in this episode, because like we see Ace got to keep it.
We just assumed
he didn't
that
use
like
the finisher
for a while. We just assumed that like, oh, if you put it in and then turn the handle, like you're on a timer, like it's gonna eventually run out. But we It's just if you the finisher, which kind of makes sense because like when you do the finisher, like the little like exhaust pipes on your legs like heat up and warp color because of heat. So it's like, oh, the buckle is overheating.
And you get the actual like explicit boost time. Okay, I gotta it's the finisher.
Also, wow, nah, I love seeing the behind the scenes pictures for this episode. Mm-hmm. Specifically for that little long shot of Keiwa and Nazuma doing their finishers together. Because, like, wow. Like, you know, I know people, it's fun to clown on the Kamen Rider CG, but, like, they are really working their asses off this season.
I haven't seen them. What'd they do?
They had the riders stay in place. Like, they even had a specific version of the Buffa helmet where all, like, the little, like, dread / whatever those things are on his helmet. Like, they purposely made a version where all of them, like, stood up still. So they can just have him, like, rotate.
That's cool.
Really, really great directing this episode. It was great. But like aside from the VFX work, from the directing, Geats' OST is constantly popping off week to week, dude. Like, oh, that clip of the actual like still finisher, and you just hear the guy on the back going crazy on the trumpet. Oh my god, he was going wild. It was wait. Oh, I love the jazz.
They're just standing still for a good 30 seconds, and the guy in the it's like you said, the guy in the horns is going ham. It's good. It's good stuff.
But now I like the setup of we're getting the final round next week. We saw from the episode previews, not only is the ninja buckle getting introduced, but Keiwa is getting boost. You already know my deal. You know, whoever gets the boost buckle that week and gets to use it gets the spotlight. So that means next week is going to be Keiwa focused, and I'm happy to see what's going to happen.
I didn't know Keiwa was getting the boost buckle for well, nope, he was getting the boost buckle for the first 3 episodes. You're right. That was a joke. You get what I mean.
He's finally gonna get to use it, bro. He's not gonna give it to anyone else. He's not gonna be a little guy. He's gonna do it. He got his
ass kicked by Mary getting the buckle. That was so funny.
But Mary actually like suit flexed him. Honestly, it was actually really funny. The Mary twist this week.
It's funny because like it's not necessarily like. I guess he was like an asshole, but like, I don't know. I didn't necessarily, because my whole thing was like, oh, I don't think he's actually going to be a scumbag, and I still feel like he's not necessarily a scumbag. He's just kind of a dick. Because like I don't know, because it's like okay,
he's just a criminal.
Who the fuck cares? Yeah, he's just a criminal. Not that big of a deal.
But he had his old little thing of like, if I ever see you again, I'm gonna get you. And then after that stream, he's like, "Oh yeah, he's not gonna remember any of this. He doesn't know who any of you guys are."
They're just gonna see him in the street one time. They're gonna be like, "Wow, fuck it." Oh wait, he doesn't remember.
It's just interesting because I wanted to ask what you thought about this, Jacob, because it's kind of what happened after the episode came out. Mary is the first Kamen Rider so far who has been kicked out of the Grand Prix, whether it was through elimination or retirement, who has gotten their flowers.
I did.
Depan hasn't gotten his flowers, Shiro hasn't gotten his flowers, and Ginpen hasn't gotten his flowers.
That's interesting. That is interesting now that you say that. Because I did see the picture, but now see, I saw the picture, but I'm like, alright, he got his flowers, whatever. But you saying it to me like makes it click. Oh! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do think that's interesting. I do think that's interesting, especially especially for Shiro. I feel
Shiro and Ginpen who died. Yeah.
Depan, it's like, all right, I can kind of.
Yeah, he didn't die. He could possibly come back.
But that is interesting.
Especially
since, like, I don't know.
My guess for it is that Keiwa remembers seeing Shiro die, and he remembers Ginpen because like the first thing that kind of shook him up. So my guess, I've been thinking about this of like, if next week is Keiwa's little episode, like his arc, of he gets the boost buckle, and usually so far we've been rolling with 2-parters, right? And so maybe like this episode and next week's episode could be Keiwa's little arc. And so what I assume it's gonna be this next week is obviously gonna be Boost, and I assume episode, what's the one after this one? 8? Episode 8?
Yes, I believe.
I assume 8 is gonna be when he gets Ninja.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this week Boost, next week Ninja. And so I even though it would be kind of fitting for Geats if he like had this big moment and still didn't win, I think it would be more interesting if Keiwa did win this Grand Prix. And so he gets world peace. And then when he wakes up, after the world reset, he just sees, like, nothing happened, basically.
Yeah.
Like, the world is basically the same. Like, his wish didn't really matter. Or, I think it'd be a bit crazier, his wish did happen, but he was still unsatisfied. He was like,
Damn.
okay, sure, I got world peace, but, like, I'm still a bum-ass living in my apartment with my sister. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no job. Like it'd be crazy if his life still sucked, or if he just saw that like his wish didn't really amount to anything. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna actually try to make a wish that amounted to something. So then call back to when he asked Simmery if he can bring back the dead. He's like, okay, I remember those guys that died. Bring back Ginpen and Shiro for his next little card.
I thought you were gonna go in a different direction for a second and be like, oh, he sees them in flashbacks, like talk to him as ghosts.
I was that
I can
good.
also see that.
I think
happening.
I think
at least with Ginpen, I could see it. I don't think Shiro would talk to him.
I think it'd be cool
Like,
if Ginpen and Shiro he wrote them down for his card.
Mm.
With Japan,
Bring back these two guys.
I have no idea what they could possibly be having for Japan. I think I have a range of theories, but none of them I feel too strong on.
I'm of the camp. I think this is a small camp. I don't think he's gonna like come back as Punk Jack. I feel like that'd be kind of lame. I feel like it'd be more interesting if I think I said this in the podcast maybe, or maybe I've just been saying it. I can't remember. But like, I don't think it'd be interesting if he was Japan or he somehow weaseled his way back in. I feel like it'd be more interesting or weaseled his way back in as Punk Jack or something. I feel like it'd be more interesting if Punk Jack was just some dude. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Specifically with the idea that he is Punk Jack. I don't mind if he comes back as just Japan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways he specifically could come back, but I also feel like, I don't know, maybe they're just going to make something of like, okay, he was actually kind of like a weirdo, or like he was kind of a dick actually, so I don't know if I want him back.
I see two things in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
One, either I'm really big on, so Japan is still out there because, he didn't die. He's just put back into his normal life.
Yeah.
But there's no reason to assume he still doesn't have his same mentality of, humanity needs to go.
Yeah.
And so, like Buffa's backstory of just a person can stumble upon the Grand Prix if they get caught up in the fights, like he did with his friend. I think it'd be really interesting.
K1 Neon did.
It'd be interesting if, in the middle of the fights, Japan is near, and they recognize him and they try to get him away, and he somehow stumbles upon the Grand Prix again, and lives, and so he tries to. He's like, oh, these people have power. I want power. And so even though if he doesn't remember the last time, he's like, I need that power, and tries to sneak in again, not even realizing he was there a previous time.
I think that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting. The other one is the one everyone else is thinking of. Oh, he's Punk Jack.
I mean, he can't be Punk Jack because, like, they said it's literally a worker. So unless
that's the thing. That's the thing with me. That's the thing with me. Because my first thought about that is like, how does someone even get a job at the Grand Prix anyway? How do you become a staff member of the Grand Prix? Is there an Indeed.com? like do they have job resumes? Because this whole
handshake.
The whole thing is like, it's supposed to be secretive from society. So how do you get people? And so what I had like kind of like, so this would kind of ruin the whole moral ambiguity of the Grand Prix, but I think it could be a little bit interesting of like, what if the staff members are the retired / eliminated players of the previous rounds, but like they get their memories like wiped and erased, so they're just like slaves, basically, or like mindless little robots that work for them.
I wouldn't mind that. I don't think that's too bad of a theory.
And so the whole thing because like the thing with me with Punk Jack is that like, oh, they kind of show off that he's a bit I don't know what to call it. He has some frustration.
Aggressive?
Yeah, he's aggressive. He has some frustration built up inside. He is ready to fight and scrap, but he's holding it back. So I think it'd be funny if like, oh, it actually is Japan, and like those little bits are like his personality breaking out.
Hmm.
And like Monster, because especially because I guess from the leaks it says Punk Jack is getting Monster.
Yeah.
My thing with Monster in this theory is like, oh, Monster's supposed to be like Japan is the monster hidden inside or something that you like that.
That'd be funny. I'd like that. I'd like that a lot if it was just
But I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what the deal is with Punk Jack, regardless. Since he has a rider accessory.
I think that's gonna be the most interesting. One of the most interesting things, like now currently in Geats. All right, what's Punk Jack's deal?
Yeah, especially because we know he's supposed to get a form.
Yeah, and the belt literally goes Punk Jack.
It'd be so. I'm glad. Is that the only one that it called out a name for?
I think so.
That's actually really cute.
I forget if it. I think it does actually say Punk Jack. It's like at some point during the call out. I could be wrong, but I think it does.
The belt cheers him on. How great. He deserves it.
I also. This is a tangent, but I noticed. So remember how like early in the leaks, people are like, "Oh, zombie and ninja is a combo, right?" Or like it'll make a combo sound.
Yeah.
I think the leaks said that because of the figure set, because that came with zombie and ninja for Buffa and
Tycoon.
Yeah. I think that's why people said that. But I don't think there is actually one because I have not seen anyone put ninja with zombie. So I think that's what that came from. That figure set going, oh, it's zombie and ninja, so maybe that's a combo.
Interesting. But I just a lot of the things with Azuma and Kayla with me. Don't worry, I'm not about to just derail into shipping. But like
Go ahead.
I feel like there's kind of an implication that like Azuma wants to take care of Kayla because he doesn't want Kayla to end up like his friend did of like just getting obliterated. I was Kayla's too nice for this world. He's gonna die so easily.
I feel like, not that I disagree with you, it's more like I feel like that's just like an interpretation thing, because like I don't see it like that, but I can understand how you would see it like that. Do you get what I mean? And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm like, yeah, I guess, I don't know. Like, I think that is an interesting take on it. I do agree. I like that idea.
I just think in general, like without interpretations, there's something going hand in hand with like the way Buffett feels about how his friend got did by other Grand Prix members, and how he treated Kayla this week.
I think specifically in this episode, I agree that probably is the intent, because it's like, don't get used to this or whatever he says. I forget. He says something like that.
You needed Mary to be out because
of it. I don't remember.
It's like also that, and he also wanted Mary to get out because it reminded him of the other guys.
Yeah. No, I like that. I do like that. He's like, well, this guy is like a loser, so I can't have him die.
It's so funny that we didn't think about that twist last week of like, because we were trying to think of like, oh, what if the ticket has like a thing to it. But you never like, oh, what if someone else just buys a ticket too?
Bought another one. I think I said that when I was watching this episode. I was like, we did not think of, you can just buy another ticket. You don't have to get picked to get a ticket.
They have desire money too.
God, we're morons.
It really is kind of interesting to see like, oh, it's just randomly selected. And so, like, if your teammate gets picked to be a part of another team, you're just stuck. Like no one else get to say. You just have to do it.
It's funny. That is so funny.
Because I remember, I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but I definitely remember talking about it with someone of like, can they say no to this? Like, can these be like, no, I don't want to switch teams?
Nope. You're forced. Sorry, buddy. No, that's so funny. That's so funny that we didn't think of that.
I know it's really dramatic. I think it's because
like, they don't talk about the money. They don't talk about the money aspect a lot.
It's just, you can buy cosmetics, you can buy food. That's it.
Yeah, it's like in one. I feel like that's like one of those bits of like, in one ear, out the other. I feel, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm done with that info for the episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it is funny that, like, Samuri kind of withheld that information until they did a finisher together. They sent him out.
Because it's like, it's obvious in a sense, like, all right, Buffa made, like, it's obvious that these four are gonna survive, but it's not obvious necessarily, like, how they went about it in this. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only when you actually, like, think about the context after they give you the answer, it's like, oh, well, I guess it makes sense why Buffa wouldn't say anything to Mary, because then, like, he wants to fuck Mary over. It's funny that Punk Jack doesn't get notified, even though he's a staff member.
That was funny. I remember when I was rewatching the episode, or when I watched it with Peter. Shout out, homie Peter.
Break, I miss him.
He is. You know who's not on a break though?
Oh God, I don't want to talk about him.
We'll have our obligatory mention later, but
Yep. Wait, that's facts though.
Yeah, Peter pointed out that, like, in the middle of that, like, little, like, time stop finisher, Punk Jack is just holding up his shield for no reason.
Saw that! I saw that! I was like, what does he think he's doing?
Bro thinks he's a part of the team. No, I love him. He's silly. Honestly, I think it'd be really funny if he was the Pan, because the entire fandom, including me, has been like, oh, Punk Jack, he's so sweet. And he's gonna take off his helmet and be like, actually, I want to erase all of humanity.
I want to shoot up school. Nope, I'm not saying that one.
Damn.
Well, I was already halfway through that one, so, like, I can't,
I think it'd be funny.
They already knew what I was thinking, so, like,
yeah. He might be a little fucked up.
He might be a little messed up. Might be a little strange.
But it's just like, it's so funny with Punk Jack. He thinks he's doing something.
This is alright. I got two things. One, I love the meme of, oh, he thinks he's on the team. I think that's so funny. I don't know why. I love that. I love that. That's one of my favorite jokes. But second thing, I think it's funny that, like, do you just randomly get assigned? I think it's funny you just randomly get assigned an animal even when you're on the staff. Like, dude is like so passive aggressive, but he's just this Halloween ass bear. I don't know. I think that's. I don't know. I just like that. I like that. It's like, oh, you're on the team, but we're still picking your animal for you, buddy. It's like, oh, all right, whatever. Guess I can't be a hedgehog or something. I don't know.
Punk Jack. I'm interested in seeing when's the next time Punk Jack is gonna come back, because it's gonna be for around. But he
didn't get kicked out, but they didn't show, like, they don't say he's not in the preview next week. I don't think.
Yeah, I assumed he was gonna be gone because, like, oh, you only really needed him for this game, and his job is kind of done for now. I think it'd be funny if he was just hanging around, like, the facility, and they just run into him in, like, the hallways or something.
Like
he's like mopping the floor or something, like a janitor.
He's mopping the floor, still in the outfit.
He's just like, hi, Punk Jack, and they just stare at him.
Hi, Punk Jack. Hi, every panda.
Hi, every panda.
What was I gonna say? I think it'd be interesting if they. This is just something I thought of now. It'd be kind of cool if they brought him back as, like, a moderator in the game to, like, not have people like I guess specifically, like, Japan's case, where they actually, like, actively try to mess up other players. But I suppose that is part of the rules, in a sense, that, like, oh, you don't necessarily, like... Well, no, it's not. You're actually, like, told, oh, you probably shouldn't attack other people. So I think that'd be interesting if he came back, but he's just there to, like, monitor people, see if they're actively trying to fuck each other over.
Also,
cool, but I don't think they necessarily will.
Something I talked about last week, I was like, I really thought Buffalo was going to get out because of the whole thing that Ace said to Japan of, like, oh, if you're not, you chose to not play the game or not play the objective and just do other stuff, and that's why you lost. And I was like, okay, is Buffalo gonna, like, take the same advice? Is he actually gonna play to the objective? And actually, I like that he did. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna stop trying to play by myself. And I'm gonna actually do the game.
I forget if I was thinking this or I've said it, but I thought he was just gonna take them both out by himself.
Oh, I think that would have been funny.
I thought he was just gonna be like, well, okay, well, you're on my team, but I'm just gonna do it all myself. I thought it was gonna be something like that, but no, I actually like that. Like, I think he was trying to do it by himself, and it just kind of got lucky that K-Wood did a finisher. Because I don't think... Or maybe he... Or Buffa himself was trying to time it. But I don't think, like... He necessarily cared if K-Wood did it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
That was kind of a mess, but you get my thought there. I hope, anyways.
So, yeah, we'll probably never see Mary again. He probably just got put in jail or something.
Yep, they repainted the helmet already.
You're gonna see Blue Mary.
Fucking, we're getting all the... What are the things from Yu-Gi-Oh called? The sheep tokens, whatever they're called, I forget. You know what I'm talking about. He looks like those.
God, I was gonna say what they were, but I forgot about what they was too.
God, what are they called now?
I'm looking this up. Joey used them, right? Scapegoats?
Scapegoat, I think it. Hold on. Let Yu-Gi-Oh. Sorry, podcast. We're taking a minute so I can figure out what the name is. Goat token.
If you got this far, leave something like "Hello, Chris" in the comments.
It's called Scapegoat.
I know my Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah. But hi, obligatory
There's
Chris
one
mentioned.
That looks like Mary. Chris, you are built like a scapegoat token.
Built like a scapegoat token. That's you.
That's you, Chris.
If you got this far, comment what color scapegoat token you are in the comments.
I think I'm a blue one. What are you?
I think I'm a... There's an orange one, right? That one's me.
Yeah. You know, I could see that. I could see you being a pink one, too.
I am a little Mary. I have a little bit of a criminal inside me.
I'm a little bit of a gambler. I was actually watching Ocean's 11 before we started.
Honestly, I think it's funny in the episode that like, the second they learn he's a criminal, that's all they say, like, talk to him about. Like, whenever he says something, Kay was just like, man, aren't you a criminal?
So, how are you gonna read this one, buddy?
Criminal.
Not a Discord mod. I'm a gambler. That's worse.
But now,
Kamen Rider Geats.
Now we gotta gamble on something else. We gotta gamble on how much I care about Bleach.
Great. You know, they were on a beach. That's kind of like a Bleach.
They were. So Jacob,
I was gonna do more rhyming, but I didn't feel like it.
I need to preface this like I did Shin Ultraman.
He does not care about Bleach.
my extent of interacting with Bleach. I saw the first episode and the live action movie that had Forze.
That movie was alright.
That movie was something. It's funny how many Forze actors are actually in there.
Yeah, they got the whole squad in it.
They had Meteor as the arrow guy.
Who do you, he bastard?
And they had Narishiko's Orihime, I think.
My beloved Orihime. Sorry.
So Jacob,
I have an issue.
I think you should go first. What do you think about Bleach: The 1,000-Year Blood War, Episode 1? Bleach is finally back. It's crazy. Someone really said it on Twitter, and it really put into perspective like how long it was of the hiatus. Like, some people got into anime during the hiatus of Bleach. Like, Bleach stopped airing before some people even started watching anime.
Even people were born during the Bleach hiatus. And a sadder note, some people didn't get to see this. Like, they didn't make it to see this. Like, that's sad. That is really sad to me that you see Bleach end and you don't get to see it come back. That is really sad. I don't mean to make it somber, but like, that does upset me to an extent.
The world is in an entirely different state from when Bleach left.
I was gonna make like a Soviet Union joke, but I
God,
that doesn't. You get
we
in the drafts.
We have been living in the dystopian world in which Bleach has not been airing.
But finally, Bleach is back. The world is great again.
Insert the stock image of like the nice city with flying cars.
Editor Ghia, you know what to do.
Society of Bleach was
society before Bleach, society after Bleach. But no, preface. preface. I adore Bleach. Bleach is my favorite anime, just ever, which is saying something. No, it's not. I don't really like that much anime. I don't like it. But not the point. I love Bleach.
This fella loves Bleach.
I watched Bleach just on a whim because of fucking RDC World videos of them.
The goats.
They put that fucking song. They put number one. I'll get to number one. This is a long. I love.
I got it. That do be a banger. That do be a banger.
Can you put it? That be the intro? Can you change it? Just for me? But no. So yes, I love Bleach, and this was just. I got into it over quarantine. It was a whole thing, and then I luckily somehow got into it right when they announced it was coming back. So good for me. I'm kind of a fraud because I didn't wait 10 years, but that's beside the point.
How long ago did they announce it was coming back? I feel like I feel like I remember it saying they were coming back at the beginning of quarantine.
I want to say it was March 2021 they said it. I could be wrong. It was around there-ish, or maybe it was 2020. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was during quarantine. That's all I remember.
That's
all
crazy.
A blur. It is crazy, but.
How'd you feel about this
so
episode,
nice to see it.
The plot, the action?
This was just perfect. It really was.
I know you have your reaction on your channel.
Yep, go check that out, Digital Jacob. Jacob reacts. I cried. I did cry. I'm starting to tear up now thinking about it. But no, because literally, this is what I wanted. This actually. More than what I wanted, because I expected them to do some fucking bullshit of they drag out the start and then it ends with Ichigo showing up and that's the final shot of the episode. But no, first 9 minutes are
I was
exactly
surprised
what I wanted.
because I saw the clip of the first fight on Twitter and I was like, damn, I just got to it in the episode. There was only 9 minutes in. There's just so much episode left.
It's just, oh my god, it's perfect. The Homelander meme for a second. It was perfect. Every minute detail. I can't put it to words. Just how much this meant to me in some way, because it's just what I wanted. They're back. They're back. They play the song. Ichigo Bankai's since 10 years, and it's everything else was great, but he says Bankai and gets a good I'm a big Ichigo fan. I really am. I'm such a loser. I just love this guy.
It's crazy. After I watched Bleach episode 1, just in general, before I even watched it, I am obsessed with Asterisk from Orange Range. It's legitimately one of the best opening songs I've ever heard. I love Asterisk, and so going into this episode, the big thing I was expecting is okay, I know Bleach. Bleach definitely has some kind of reputation for its music, for its OST. I was I'm expecting to hear some crazy stuff in that ending song, bro. That ending song is
That ending song's crazy because I thought I've heard it before, and I did. It's the same song they used for the Bleach 20th anniversary trailer they did. So that's even crazy that they used it again. And that singer loves Bleach, which I think is great. He's obsessed with it. So shout out for him for getting to do that song, and he's doing the opening, which I'm excited to hear. But
I hope it is a good opening.
I hope so.
I don't think anything will top the first two openings for me. TBH.
I actually love it's an opening for a filler, but opening 13 is my favorite Bleach music, aside from number 1. That is my favorite track in Bleach. It's called Blue, and it's just fantastic. But, no, this was a really good episode. It was well-paced, and I'm so biased, but, it's so nice just seeing the main 4 again, and they just kick ass, and,
So
this arc is so good. This is such a good arc. It's just nice to see it after.
I got a preface, again.
What do you think, Ghia?
I don't know what the hell the story was. My first question of the entire thing when I was watching is man, where's Rukia? Because I just remember Rukia from the first episode, and she's in the ending, and I was there's Rukia. Where was she?
Big Rook.
Big Rook.
I saw much that in a
I know there's like a
funny.
I know there's like a little bit of a fandom war between Rukia and Orihime.
Okay, first of all, Chris, Rukia is not good for Ichigo. Let me make that clear. I love Orihime. I love Orihime. I'm such a loser.
I will say,
this, but I love
even though I haven't seen enough of Orihime to fully say for sure, I think I'm a Rukia fan. But honestly, I so far from what I've seen, I don't really care for ships so far. So like Rukia and Ichigo, I don't really care. So for the sake of argument, I don't know. From what I've seen, it does seem like Ichigo and Orihime is like the goal.
Ichigo and Orihime is such like a cute relationship, and I'm not even a shipper. I just fell in love with the idea of them together because like it's not necessarily a focus of the show, but like when Kubo does put focus on it, it's like it's just great. Cause like there's an entire arc of the show when literally they go to the villain's area because they took Orihime. And Orihime only went there because like she did to protect Ichigo. And it's fantastic. So, and the whole I'm trying not to like
my favorite character is Rukia, so I was just wondering where there was. But she
does great in this arc.
I was studying more so like the composition, the directing, the camera work, all that stuff of the episode, so I can have that to talk about instead of the story. Because if I tried to talk about this story, I wouldn't have any idea. But I think the first thing that popped out to me, they got Deku's VA, and like whenever Deku's VA is in something, I can immediately notice it because his voice is just. It's Deku. He's Deku.
I think it's cute because he's a Soul Reaper who looks up to Ichigo, and I was reading something. I don't know how accurate it was, but I guess like, who does My Hero? Horikoshi, that's him?
Yeah.
Right? Horikoshi like looks up to Kubo in a way, or like he said at some point that he looks up to Kubo and like Kubo like respects him. So I think that's cute. It's like a kind of I guess it's not really a reference to that because this was written before. Like this is adapting something that was before My Hero, I'm pretty sure, or like a little bit before. Mm-hmm. But I think that's cute that it is Deku as that voice. It's like Deku.
I really like the setup
because he's the goat.
Because like I'm pretty sure everyone making this assumes that you wouldn't really be watching this unless you've seen other stuff. Look, we don't know I exist, but like I kind of like. Really know. I kind of like it does feel like they wrote the first little chunk as if you've never seen Bleach, with how they just kind of have Ichigo like as a setup. Because like if I've never seen Bleach, like if I knew absolutely nothing, I would assume Dekuman was his name. Ryunosuke, that's his name. Oh, I don't call him Deku. Ryunosuke. I would have assumed he was like main character material, and then it's just him and his best friend get absolutely obliterated, and then Ichigo just shows up. I will admit, the fighting. If Bleach fans are eating good, that's all I'll say. Of like, if they're getting this quality animation weekly, that's something else. Like, no, what? Like, if they spent 10 years trying to get this back, 10 years was well spent. Like, it really does feel so high quality. Even if like the hollows were I remember seeing some of them looked pretty CG, but like the CG was good. Like, I have to fully admit the CG was good. It looked good.
Oh, I'm glad you're talking about CG. We'll save that for later. Anyways.
It was so, good. Like, I like the animation. The animation of the Bankai, the Getsuga Tensho.
Don't get me started.
I really like I really like how the Getsuga Tensho specifically looks with like the black and white flashing from his blade.
That's crazy because like, so this is a nerd thing. But so in the anime originally, they colored his energy is called Reiatsu, and they colored it blue. But in the manga, Ichigo's Reiatsu is supposed to be gold when he's not in Bankai, right? But then in the Bankai, I forget what it's supposed to be in the manga. I think it's just supposed to be black. But in the anime, they made it red and black, specifically with the Getsuga because Hollow Ichigo is the first one to use it. Blah blah blah. Not important. But they changed it to black and white for this. I actually think it works a lot. Because originally in the trailers it was black and purple, and that also looked very sick. But like the black and white is so good because it's like, okay, it's like the hollow energy's still there.
Yeah.
But like he combined it with the full bring, and that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, because I like it because like when he slashes the hollows with them, like the white energy kind of envelops them, and like the black is like their silhouettes, and they fade away because like they're disintegrating from the attack. It's so cool.
I said this on Twitter, but I saw people like reactors on YouTube. They were obviously not being super serious, but they were like, why is he going Bankai for all these guys? They're just hollows. It's like, there's so many of them. Why wouldn't he? He can just take them all. He literally goes, oh, I'll take you all on at once. Like, why wouldn't he go Bankai? It doesn't matter. He can do what he wants. He's Ichigo. And, like, seriously, like, I don't know. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you just go Bankai and just take them all out? It makes it easier.
Honestly, I might just start watching Bleach after this. Like after we're done recording. Or after,
yes!
Or at some point today. Because
I've won.
In terms of favorite characters, like Ruki is already up there. But all of my friends who are into Bleach, and I'm not Gobula, they also said a lot of them would think I would like Chad.
You would like Chad. I think you would.
Because for me, when it comes to shonen, a lot of my favorite characters are the guys that cannot do what the rest of them can because he sucks at it, but he's really good at doing his own thing.
Yeah, it's
like
kind of
like Rock Lee from Naruto.
I am a Rock Lee fan without having seen Naruto.
Like I love Rock Lee. He's not able to do all the little, like, throw fireballs or have stuff in his eyeballs that have to paralyze people.
Kicks really good.
Yeah, he punches and kicks really good, and it's crazy.
That is Chad to a degree.
I also just like Chaz's. I like that he's just like a big ass buff man, but like his hair like kind of goes over his eyes like a dog.
Bro's like, thanks to my uncle.
And his arm, I like. Oh, his little arm thing is cool. I like it.
Yeah, I'm actually a fraud. I forget what it's called. I don't remember, but it's like a full bring or something. Oh, it is a full bring, but that's kind of like a retcon. In a sense, I don't know. And
then Orihime shows up. The Orihime must be a crazy ass healer, bro. Those two little kids are like at the edge of life.
Dude, she is insane at healing.
I saw a thing on Twitter. I saw a thing on Twitter that's saying like a character of Bleach could have their guts ripped out on screen, and an Orihime will show up, and they'll be in the fight 5 minutes later.
Orihime literally goes, Orihime's literal power is like she rejects the damage, so she literally goes, damage, no. Damage gone. It's insane. She's great too, because like there's like a whole kind of arc in a sense of like Ichigo kind of overprotects people, but his whole thing is that he just wants to protect the people he loves, right?
Yeah.
But like his thing with Orihime is like Orihime can fight, but she can't necessarily like grow to fight on her own if Ichigo keeps protecting her. So like that's why it's great to see in this, like she literally can handle herself in a fight. And the fact, I think I said this in the reaction, but the fact that she gets the beat drop of number one, like the chorus, I think that's just great. I think that's really cute.
I like the God, what's his name? The arrow dude.
Uryu.
Uryu?
Shida Uryu.
I like him.
U-R-Y-U.
I have a tweet from a while ago of like, I have a thing in my head.
Remember this!
Where no matter what I'm watching, if it's Toku, a cartoon, a movie, there is a character. Like if I see a character that I think is like written a certain way, I will dub them the secondary writer of said thing, and he looks like the secondary writer of Bleach.
It's funny because there's two other characters you could call the secondary of Bleach. The two in my head would be Ruki and Renji. Like, you could pick one of those two. But, like, Uryu technically fits the mold better because, like, he has a different power set than the main guy, Ichigo, of course. But, like, you know, there's an argument to me that, like, it's either one of them three who is, like, the secondary rider, big air quotes. But, like, in terms of secondary protagonist, it is kind of him in this arc, at least. But, like, I hope he gets more time on him.
Also, definitely, I love the dynamic between the four of them. Like, when they were just chilling in Ichigo's house while Ryunosuke was, like, knocked the fuck out. I also like that Shino was up earlier before him, like, just walking around chilling.
I love that he was just knocked out for 2 days. That's so funny.
Also, I know I know that Bleach has like a product placement with Coke, like right now, of like the little thing going on in Japan. I didn't expect it to be in the show though. Like I was kind of caught off guard.
Ichigo's got Yeezys in his room too. That's the funny part.
Bro, he got the drip. That's crazy. He got the Red Octobers, whatever the hell they're called. But like, oh my god.
My friend, I said to my friend, I'm gonna buy a pair of those. I looked up a pair of those. They're like $23,000. I was like, never mind.
But, like, I was caught so off guard when Shino walked into their room and she was just like, I bought Coke. And then it cuts to the next shot, all of them sipping from Coke bottles, and I was like, okay.
I need to buy that. I need to buy a can of that Coke.
They're enjoying Coke.
Import it over.
That's crazy. I hope it does not like explode in the mail or something.
It's alright. I'll just leave it in there. I'll never open it. So I'll just have a can of Coke on my desk forever. No, I'd probably drink it and keep the can.
But also, I really... Bleach seems like one of the things, because I've seen it for both the first episode and this, it really seems like more than any shonen, it excels at having fights set at nighttime. Because I like when it is nighttime, I really love just the color palette of it all.
Lighting.
Yeah, the lighting, and it really fits like the outfits they have when they're soul reaping and shit.
That's funny because I enjoy, obviously I enjoy most of Bleach, but like it's kind of no, they have a lot of major daytime fights, I feel, but it kind of gets annoying at a certain point with how many nighttime shots there are. Not so much like, oh, it's bad that it's at nighttime, but it's like a lot of stuff happens at night, and it's like, can't you just do this in the day? But like, I agree, it excels, especially with this. It looks gorgeous. They put the foot in the fucking gas with those first 9 minutes, and like, not even say like the later fight with him and Eburn or whatever is bad. That I love that too, because that feels like a callback to like a lot of the openings where Ichigo's just kind of in the air for a lot of it. It's just great.
In terms of the story, like I can't really speak on the rest of the episode because a lot of it was story heavy. With, like the 9 guys in white with the black helmets that just kind of like killed that guy. And they're like, we will destroy the Soul Reaper Society. Like, they look crazy. They gave me a really creepy vibe.
How do you feel that? You don't care, but how do you feel that Ichigo almost got his Bankai stolen?
I was like, damn, is Art gonna have his power taken away? I was like, oh, is that gonna be the thing for this arc? He's gonna be a little bit powerless, and he has to get it back. And he's like, nope, you can't do that. I'm Ichigo.
That's I won't. It's not really a spoiler.
Go ahead.
It's just funny. It's just funny. The whole thing of like, all right, we're stealing Ichigo's Bankai. It's like, oh fuck, we can't steal Ichigo's Bankai. Like, I don't. It's just
he's too goated.
Literally, because it's like, oh fuck, we can't steal this guy's Bankai because there's something wrong with it or whatever. So they have to like. I guess it's not really a spoiler, but like they basically like force Ichigo to go to like there's this place called Hueco Mundo, and that's where Ichigo's going next episode. But like it's just funny. That's how their way of getting around Ichigo. It's like, fuck, send him to Hueco Mundo. Like we can't beat this guy, and that's how like all the other shit happens, and then like, oh, it's great. It's a great arc. It really is. And the benefit of this is that they're expanding on it, which is even better. So it's great.
Oh, they're adding stuff that wasn't in the manga?
Yes, they're expanding on fights that happened off screen, and like they're going to be adding more stuff. It's funny too because in this episode they didn't cut a lot of stuff. They reorganized it and just took out some jokes, which is fair because it's supposed to be like, it was mostly the beginning. They reorganized some stuff at the beginning, and I respect it because it's like, I don't think you want to go too jokey at the start, because I think Bleach has some funny moments, but like, I think it's about the tone you want to set of like, all right, it's a little bit creepy. Like, where are the hollows at? Especially for like if you're a fan coming in, you've already seen all of Bleach and you've read it. It's like, all right, they're changing it up, they're easing us in. But then like a new fan, it's like you probably know a little bit about Bleach already, so it's like, hi, I wonder like where the hollows are, or the monsters, or whatever. And that's like, oh, fuck! You know, because it's all Eburn's fault. I fucking love Ichigo going, "Can you get off my bed?" Kicks him out the window.
I was almost laughing of how casual like the back and forth was. It was just like, who are you? Like, what do you mean? Who am I? Who are you? You're the one who's curious. Blah blah blah. You know, I'm off your bed. And he's just like, get off my bed.
I just made it. My sheets. It's great. Yorihime opening the window for him to kick him out.
But yeah, I do think as a whole, episode 1 of the 1,000-Year Blood War, even if you have not seen Bleach, is a very entertaining. It's a fun time. It's definitely a fun time. You'll be jamming to music, especially the number 1 tracks. That ending song really can get you jumping.
They finally put it on Spotify.
You'll be having some eye candy with the fights when he does his little Bankai, his Getsuga Tensho, or like if you're watching the sub, it's Bon Kai, and then if you're watching Johnny Young Bosch, he just says Bankai. There's no pause.
No pause.
Is that a thing in the Bleach? Because I see all over TikTok people are kind of ragging on like other dubs for not having the pause.
It's weird because it's like, I actually was going to talk about the Bankai thing for a second in the voice acting, but like specifically about the Bankai, it's weird because this is a whole thing. This is a really big tangent. So there was this thing where Johnny and Bosch and I feel like a fraud. I forget his name. It's like, I don't know. I don't know Japanese VA for Ichigo's name. Or I do know it. I don't know what it is exactly at this moment. But so they had like a meet at one time at a con, right? And they both did Bankai. But I found this out because they did like a little re-interview with the two of them for the promotion for this, and it was before Johnny Young Bosch had actually recorded the Bankai for the dub. So, like, it was like he wasn't sure how he was going to actually do it, right? Mm-hmm. So, he comes off sounding just weird. But, obviously, as he actually improves and records it, it sounds better when he says Bankai. So, like, there is, like, a little bit of a sort of I don't want to call it, like, an argument or even, like, a disagreement. There is sort of, like, a thing of, like, oh, how the dub does Bankai is weird compared to the pause of just Bankai. But I would go full out, but I'm not gonna cringe at myself in the podcast. But like,
it's okay.
I love the dub. Love the dub. I love Johnny Young Bosch. He's my guy.
So yeah, go watch Bleach. Go watch Bleach. Most favorably from the beginning. Don't be like me.
I think it's kind of funny that you can like not so much, I guess so much you, but more so like you could go into this episode right without having seen it, but you also have like the respect for what this episode means for Bleach fans.
Oh yeah, for real. Like honestly,
it's it.
If I can delve into Twitter discourse for like 30 seconds as a Chainsaw Man fan, I do think it's a little crazy that people are pitting Chainsaw Man against Bleach because like 1, they're both shonen, 2, like even if we love Chainsaw Man, and it doesn't matter how much I end up loving Bleach, I'll probably still say Chainsaw Man's better. That's just me. Wow. But like, Chainsaw Man's only been around as a story, as a concept for like 4 years, roughly. Not even like a full 4 years yet. I think it started in December of 2018, and then it just now got its anime. But like, we Chainsaw Man fans, I gotta level with y'all, man. We gotta show some respect, man. We gotta show a little bit more respect.
little kid on the playground.
We still the new kid on the block. Bleach Chainsaw Man Part 1 has started and ended before Bleach came back.
And let's be clear. Bleach impact huge with every shonen.
Oh yeah.
Like
everywhere I see people saying JJK is basically like the Bleach like successor.
Not as good though. Hot take. But we'll save that topic for another day. If either of us get that into JJK.
So, but we've ripped off the Band-Aid. We ripped off the Band-Aid with Bleach. So
we ripped the cord.
We tear through.
Good one, Jacob.
Our topics, and we are at Tatsuki Fujimoto / Studio Mappa's Chainsaw Man, episode 1. Man.
A dog and chain. What is it? Dog and chainsaw? I forget.
Chainsaw Man and Chainsaw Dog that's inside of him. He got that dog in him.
He does have the dog in him. I'll give him that. He does have the dog.
He very literally has the dog in him.
Okay, now for my preface.
Go ahead. You have not read Chainsaw Man.
I have not read Chainsaw Man. I've thought about it, just not that interested. It's weird because I like reading the manga after I've seen the anime, but not the point. I don't necessarily care that much. Like, does that not saying like I don't care in a bad way? I just like it's never piqued my interest. I'm only watching it because it's the new thing. Let's make that clear. But I've also had an interest in doing it, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I'm like, but that's the little preface of Jacob's opinion on.
So Jacob, do you want to go first for your opinion on it?
No, I did my little love spree.
Oh,
so you get to do this. You get to.
I love Chainsaw Man, bro. I've been waiting for this anime, bro. Oh my god. Listen, like, I got into Chainsaw Man when the anime was very first announced. Like, it was like a Mappa live stream at like 5 a.m. my time. Of them announcing it, and ever since then I was like, you know what, I'll cave in to my homies because all my homies love Chainsaw Man. It's like, I'll see what the hype is about. I read all 97 chapters in 2 days. I was addicted. I don't think I've ever read anything faster, TBH. Like, if anything, I thought I was going through it a bit too fast when I was reading it. Like, it's I am in love.
I had to catch some stuff.
I am in love with Chainsaw Man. I love the story. I love the fights. I love the writing. I love all the little references and implications and just the message it has. So then, like, now that I was hyped, I had the story in my head, and I knew the anime was on the way. Oh my god, the wait for this anime. You know, it definitely wasn't as bad. Nothing will ever compare to the wait Bleach fans had to have. But like, I wouldn't know because I'm not a Bleach fan. I wasn't waiting for that shit.
Damn.
But God, just having to wait all this time, and the thing was, like, they had no news for, like, all we had was just the confirmation that it existed, and then we had to wait all the way until, what was it? I don't think it was the Crunchyroll.
When did they announce the anime?
They announced it, and I think it was early 2020.
I feel like
because it was around when Zombieland Saga Season 2 ended, because I remember that. I remember back in the day. So it was like second half of 2020. And then we waited, like, 2021 there was basically like nothing. And then we got a trailer a couple months ago in 2022.
I remember that.
The very first one that didn't have any voice acting, it was just animation. And so we were just the entire couple months of speculation of who the VAs are, who's going to be doing the music, and then we saw the staff team of, like, oh my god, they got the composer from Devilman Crybaby. Oh my god, that crazy! Like, this anime gonna go crazy. And then we saw the cast, and basically the cast is made up of, like, kind of new faces in the industry, the acting industry, which I think is really fitting for Chainsaw Man. Yep, except for Vale. I'm so happy that, like, a majority of the main characters are new faces. It's fitting for Chainsaw Man,
that too.
Especially because Fujimoto's a bit of a new guy himself for shonen and manga. But and then we got our first voice acting trailer, and then we got a second one like a couple weeks ago before the release, and then earlier this week on Tuesday, Chainsaw Man was out. It was out on Crunchyroll. I didn't watch it on Crunchyroll because fuck Crunchyroll. Yeah, I don't want to.
It's on Hulu too.
It is on Hulu.
I watched it on Hulu.
And oh my god, it was everything I've imagined. It was everything in my dreams has come to reality. I love the dude. I straight up said it on Twitter. I am always one for hearing out criticisms of my favorite media and their problems and all that stuff, but not today. Not on Tuesday. I wasn't, bro. I was a completely different person.
So today's fine.
Yeah, I turned into the average shonen fan on Tuesday, bro. I was taking no criticism. I was just gonna say peak fiction. Those are the two words I knew that day. Peak fiction. I loved the voice acting. I loved the music. The OST for the fights and just the little sad moments of Pochita and Denji. I loved it. I loved the camera work. I loved all the stuff like them driving at night, or him trying to fight the Tomato Devil at the beginning, the little Tomato Devil guy, or him fighting Pochita, or just the opening. I really love Kickback. I love Kenshi Unenzu's Kickback.
Yeah, it's great. No, I actually like it now. It's okay.
And I really like because Fujimoto is a man. He's a film buff. He's a man of movies. He's cinema.
He went to film school.
And so just to see that the entire opening, the entire opening is filled with different movie references and also references to some of his other work. But like if my friends would know because they watched one of the movies that's referenced more in the beginning of the opening, Reservoir Dogs. I didn't know Steve Buscemi is in that movie. It's really funny because I mostly know Steve Buscemi from Spy Kids too. But
no, he used to do a lot of. Well, I guess he still does. He did a lot of like serious stuff.
For some reason, not for some reason, but like a lot of the references they have start to make sense if you've seen said movies they reference because they all kind of relate to either something about the story or the dynamic of the characters. Like I'm gonna give some minor spoilers for Chainsaw Man, but it's basically unavoidable. But it's also, but it's also like if you have half a brain, you can kind of tell. Like that, like the beginning shot of the four of them walking is a Reservoir Dogs reference, and Reservoir Dogs is like an entire movie where one of the members of the team is a traitor.
Dude, you spoiled Reservoir Dogs.
Dude, I'm sorry, bro. Steve Buscemi, Spy Kid. He's like, he's got God stayed in heaven to fear what he's created. He said that.
He said that. That's what he said in Reservoir Dogs.
But I'm gonna put my heart on the table. I'm gonna put myself up for the roast. Y'all can make fun of me. I'm holding my ground. I liked the fight. I loved the fight. Against the zombie devil.
Oh, I liked what's the Punisher thing?
I like it.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
I loved it, bro. I was almost crying. I was like, oh my god, he got the chainsaws. He was zooming around like on the giant little zombie tentacles and stuff and the tentaclers. They also did kind of add some stuff from the manga. It's not a lot of big stuff, but it's like random stuff here and there. Some of them, I think the additions were kind of meh, but like it didn't bring down the overall experience. I think one of the changes, because I don't remember the first chapter that well, but I don't think he said "hug me" at the end of the fight with Makiba. I think Makiba just hugged him, but I think it's interesting.
I think he did because I was just looking at it with Noel. Shout out Noel. But I think he does say it.
That's like all this. I don't think he ever mentioned his mom either.
No, I don't.
Because he's like, oh man,
not super paying attention.
My disease with my mom. It spread onto me. It's like that's not that big of a change, but like it's just to further like make the whole message of like Denji's life absolutely sucks.
I think that just sounds like a skill issue.
Man's is down terrible. Dude
sold a nut, an eyeball, a kidney, or something. That was funny.
Like the entire.
I know it's supposed to be sad, but that was fucking funny.
The entire
him opening.
The entire first episode can kind of be summarized by like the sad violin from SpongeBob. Like that is Denji's life.
Smallest violin.
But oh my god, yeah, I forgot to mention what's it called? Chainsaw Vondi, Blood Vondi, the ending song. I like it. I can't wait to hear the other 11 ending songs.
Oh yeah, we only got to hear this one once.
I hope the other ones are good too. The one I'm interested in hearing, I can't wait to hear the one by the dude who did the Tokyo Ghoul song Unravel. He's doing one. I
think isn't the dude or the people who did the first JJK opening, aren't they doing?
Yeah, they're doing one. The Vivid Vice guys. Actually, I don't know if that was called.
I like that.
But yeah, so can't wait. Jacob, what did you think about Chainsaw Man episode 1?
You know, it was alright. It was good. I don't know. It's like I didn't think. Let me. I felt like the story was good. but like sometimes the visuals felt lacking in a sense. I don't want to. It wasn't like they looked bad. It just was kind of like some of it fell flat. Some of it felt flat, not fell flat. And then like, okay, this is my big thing. This is the big thing I really didn't like. The fight. It was not. I don't even want to call most of it bad, but like the CG with Chainsaw Man himself, I thought wasn't good, and it felt like the thing that Mappa always does of having shit CG for anything they do. Like, I don't want to say like all their CG's bad, but like, you know, you look at Attack on Titan, the CG's bad to an extent at some parts. I don't know. I've only watched like the first half of season 4 and it wasn't that good. But like, I don't know, I think the CG felt flat. I felt like it just wasn't good for an anime that's supposed to be like this big. Do you get what I mean? Like, for an anime of this caliber, I felt like it could have been a lot better. It sort of felt like, this is like, I'm trying to not be super negative. I'm saying this like, it's disappointing that it looks like this. I don't think it's like, oh, it sucks. Do you get what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just sad that it kind of, I'm sad that it kind of just is to me, you know? But, like, I don't know, it sort of feels like a Naruto Storm 4 cutscene at some points. Not Storm 4. Storm 4 looked good, but that's beside the point. I just think it looked kind of like a cutscene at some points. But, I mean, overall, it's a good story. I want to see where it's going.
You want to see...
I like the dog.
You want to see Denji break out of his homelessness, out of his terrible life.
Yeah. And, what I will say... So, I said on Twitter, I thought the song sucked. And I liked the visuals. I've actually changed my... I've reversed my opinion. I don't think the visuals is bad, right? But I feel like for a first opening, it's kind of odd you're just filling it with movie references. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I get you probably don't want to spoil the season for, like, non-manga people or whatever it is. However you want to word that. But I don't know. It's just kind of an odd choice to make the whole thing movies. And I get he's a movie buff, like you said. But I don't know. I just think it's an odd choice. I don't necessarily like go, oh, it's bad because it's, you know, that. I just think it's odd more than anything. It's not a negative. It's just kind of like a, I wish you could have did something different. I'm not gonna hate on it, you know. But I mean, overall, want to see where it's going.
I can't wait to see the other, because I will say, compared to every other fight in Chainsaw Man, honestly, the zombie devil fight is one of the more tame ones. Like,
yeah.
All the other ones from this point on get way bigger scale.
Yeah, that kind of.
Except for the one directly after the zombie devil, because that's one's kind of a small fight. But from that moment on, things instantly kick up with the Eternity and Bomb Woman. Oof. Katana Man was on the way. I can't believe he was in the opening. Katana Man. I can't wait to see Katana Man.
But yeah, that's my big thing. I felt the CG could have been better. But I mean, at some points it's weird because sometimes it doesn't look like it's CG. It's like rotoscoped or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, a lot of part does feel. Honestly, I like when they rotoscope because you know you get more genuine movement because someone is actually doing it.
It's just wonky more than anything. I feel it just kind of. I guess it is disappointing that it's like, oh, not so much you, but like. It was hyped up a lot, this whole thing. Or just Chainsaw Man in general, I feel it's very hyped. Which, you know, I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes I say it's a bad thing, sometimes I say it's not. But,
in my opinion,
case,
it's really
care
good.
That much.
It's really good to be excited for it. Honestly, how I see it is people can be as excited for it as they want or hype it up. Mm-hmm. The only time I see it, like, for me, it's only a problem if it's like, Chainsaw Man... It's gonna be better than Bleach, better than all the other anime, better than JoJo's, better all entire season of anime. This is better than fucking everything. Everything else sucks. This is the winter of fall. Like for me, it's like hype it up, but don't bring other things down because it's not really relevant to what you're trying to hype up. And like I said, I think I said it on the podcast earlier, but I definitely said it in conversations. It doesn't matter how I feel, bro. I will dick ride. I will constantly dick ride. I will say this is the greatest thing of all time, or my anime of the year, TBH. I'm sorry, Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Wow. We shared a moment. That was our podcast.
We really did.
And you're disrespecting it.
I'm sorry.
David didn't go through all that just for you to see Denji being a fucking loser and go, yeah, this is anime of the year.
See, no.
That was a joke.
You know,
that was all a joke.
Edge Runners would have been better if David sold one of his nuts, is all I'm saying.
He sold his whole lower body. God, disrespecting my man.
I'm sorry, David.
Sorry, David.
But yeah, it's like, sure, y'all, everyone else can disagree of like, oh, Chainsaw mid, or like, oh, it's not even gonna be like
Midsaw Man.
It's not even a good anime or whatever. But like
Midsaw Man better. Yeah, honestly, I think that's funny.
Midsaw Man is funny, but like, as long as you just withhold you keep your opinions true to yourself, don't force them on other people, don't drag down other shit. It's not that necessary.
Don't talk to Ghia about it.
CGI is always a touchy thing. I think it really depends on how it's used. I think, strangely enough, I don't have that many problems with CG being used. Like I watched
don't have a problem either. I just think if you're gonna use it well. Like I think this is what. So I was gonna bring this up with the Bleach thing, but it's like the only CG is for the hollows. I think there's not. And it makes sense to use the CG for the hollows. It does. But, it's just weird that it's like... I don't know. Maybe it's just a time thing. Because Mappa does do a lot of rush. Crunch, I feel.
Honestly, I understand with Chainsaw Man. Like, Chainsaw Man himself. Because chainsaws are... Like, the rotating, spinning blades is probably very hard to animate. Which is why I'm worried about JoJo Part 7. Because animating horses is fucking crazy.
Oh God! Man, David Production works on one thing a year. They got it.
They have to animate all those horses at once. It's gonna be a bunch of CGI horses, but I'm gonna still say it's peak because I love Steel Ball Run. But
I'm actually looking for. I should finish Part 6.
I usually don't really have a problem with CG. Even with Attack on Titan, no matter how really you feel about Attack on Titan, I personally think the fights weren't as bad as everyone says. I like the Titan CG.
Yeah.
One of my favorite animes, Gatchaman Crowds. The fights are CG because of the armors and stuff are CG. And I like to hear. I think the only part where I think
Tiger
it wasn't.
Bunny, they're all CG.
I need to check out Tiger and Bunny. From what I've seen, I like how they look.
Good show.
Also Shikizakura. Shout out Chris and Peter. There's one Shikizakura mention for like the entire podcast.
Chris got 3 shout outs this episode.
He's gonna be feeling good, bro. He's gonna be feeling good.
He's gonna be like, guys, you shouted me out 3 times. Oh,
they love me.
This is my favorite background noise podcast.
But I think the only time I think I thought it was weird is mostly shots of like all the little zombies walking.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, yeah, all right. Like for the most part, I like seeing Denji move around. I get it. It makes sense. Especially since like Chainsaw Man's one of the like more bigger shonens out as of right now.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like a whole. One, I was talking with people and they were like, Jacob, I get if you don't like CG, and I'm like, it's not that. It's just utilize it well and don't look cheap, I guess. And like, as I said, it's like I feel like for a show of this hype and caliber, I don't know, it just seems like it should have been a little bit better polish. That's all I think it would need. Just more time in the pot.
I just have faith. There's a lot of shots from.
I hope it gets better.
There's a lot of shots in the trailer where Chainsaw Man's flying around and it looks really 2D. But so they so far they've kept those shots. So I assume it's just going to be a mixture of 2D and 3D, which I like. But I really love just seeing Denji just limp around as Chainsaw Man swinging around his arms wildly. Like it's something about it just clicked in my head.
I forget if I told you this, but not so much like I didn't know like the thing was that he fused with the dog. I thought he put just a helmet on or something.
like Battle Fever J just puts on the helmet.
Yeah, like something like that. He just puts a helmet on or something.
Nope. He is half Chainsaw Devil.
half chainsaw dog.
The term is hybrid, specifically of what Denji is. It's a bunch of different things, but Denji is a hybrid between human and
pushed up
chainsaw
his
dog.
glasses for that comment.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
But yeah,
sorry,
I love the ripcord. I love the suspense of like him getting piled by zombies, and then you can slowly hear the chainsaws revving from underneath.
That was good. I thought that was well done.
Also, I need to reread the manga because I don't think it was ever a thing Fujimoto drew. But like he has like Kamen Rider eyes like underneath the helmet.
So so I was talking with Noel. Shout out Noel. He was like, so in the manga it's like 3 eyes, but in this they put it as one big eye, and it's kind of like, it reminded me of Ryuki a little bit, how he's got the slits in his mask, but it's just actual big eyes underneath there.
Yeah,
and I think that I like that. But
I really like he has eyes.
It would have been cool if it was like 3 individual, but I mean, I'm not really, it's eyes. It doesn't matter. I think it's cool either way. I do like the effect. I like the steam, or like the heat, I guess. I think it is steam.
I do hope for a lot of the more serious, like this was a serious fight, but like I hope for they have moments where it's just the eyes go like blank, because there is a lot of fights in the manga where it's just darkness under there. Oh, God, I love that he can like rev himself up again. Like that's honestly the biggest thing about Chainsaw Man, or just seeing any manga adapted, of just seeing like how it would work.
It works.
Yeah, how it works, like actually moving. Because like in the manga, I don't think they ever show him like de-transforming. So it was interesting to see that it just kind of like melts off his body.
You say that, but in chapter 1, that's what happened. It melted off.
It'd be like it's weird.
That's
it's weird
so funny
seeing it happen.
I'm actually cheating because I saw the first chapter right before we started recording. So it's like, technically, I know.
It's just weird to see it in motion. It's just like, it's like it turns into a goop. It slides down his body.
It's the same effect, as I said, with like the Getsuga thing, or like the Reiatsu color change. It's like, it's just interesting to see what change, like, what they changed or how it looks. Because, like, that was a complaint. People were like, oh, that's not accurate to what Kubo colored it. It's not gold. It's blue. Or blue, not gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I will say this now for any of our listeners that are watching Chainsaw Man and are the average anime fan, and you see a woman and go, Uwuga. Not this one, please. Not this one, not her.
Yeah, she's not even that attractive.
Not Makiba, please, bro. I swear, I promise you, all the fan art is a lie. She is not that thick.
What about Powered?
I feel a little weird tipping for Powered. Like, I'm pretty sure Powered, actually, don't quote me. I actually don't know if Powered is of age, but like, I personally never simped for her because they make her out to be like the surrogate sister for Denji. So it's like,
for Denji, not for me.
She's innocent in my head, even though she hates humanity, wants to kill people. She a little baby. Kobeni though, Kobeni that's where it's at for me. I like Kobeni.
I don't know who that is.
Kobeni, well, once she comes in, everyone will love it. She's the shy one, but she a little fucked up. Just not Makiba. No matter what, y'all. I will say this now. Every other woman in this, actually, don't quote me on that, but like a majority of every other woman in this show, fair game. Not Makiba, bro. Please.
Nah, it's crazy you say that, because like the Quincy and Bleach are based off of Germany, so they're kind of, no, never mind. I'm not going with that.
That's crazy.
They kind of got like a Nazi thing going on, so it's kind of weird.
It's. That's honestly my biggest fear. It's crazy how, as a Chainsaw Man fan, and how much I wanted this to come out, I might hate the anime onlys, just because of how they
hate me.
Just because of how they might treat Makiba. I was so scared.
I think it's funny. It's funny because I realized, he's got the dog in him. That's why he's always on a leash.
Yeah.
Because he's a dog. I think that's funny.
And also because Makima sees him as less than human, so he's like, basically be my human pet.
I would too. Screw Denji.
But it's okay, because now he eats more than just one piece of white bread a day.
Did I tell you I was going to be a Denji hater, or did I tell someone else that? I think I told someone else.
What
that.
did
I'm a
Denji do, bro? He's just trying to live his life.
I don't know. Should have given up the other nut.
Then he wouldn't have nothing left.
Well, he wasn't using it anyways.
He wanted to.
He wasn't going to.
That was the plan, though. He had to keep at least one. Just in case. You never know what might happen.
Clearly, nothing.
But the play, bro, that's his one. That was literally his one goal that he said to Bashida he wanted to score with a girl. Honestly, that is the biggest appeal of Denji. That he's just a loser, that has had nothing in his life. So he's just like, I want a girlfriend.
Unrelatable.
I want a girlfriend.
I want a girlfriend. I'm gonna send for Makima. Makima be like, Denji, you're less than human. Screw you, Makima.
Yeah, that's right. Screw you, Makima.
I'm gonna hate this whole cast out of spite.
No, we don't hate
Not Aki.
Exactly. Not okay, Aki. I have faith in you. Now I have faith in you.
You didn't have faith, dude. Always have. When am I ever wrong?
Aki is the fan favorite for sure. Like, every time someone has gotten to Chainsaw Man and they finish it, I was like, "Who's your favorite character?" And they always say Aki. Aki was my favorite character.
I was gonna put Chainsaw Man on the hater wheel, but I've never bothered to remake the hater wheel since it got deleted.
You know what, Jacob? Hate on someone right now. Do it for free.
Oh God, I don't know. This is why I need the wheel, because I can't hate on the spot. I gotta.
Random Toku Twitter user, random anime character.
Actually, you wanna know what I hate? I actually hated that Chainsaw Mans were putting down Bleach, because it's like, shut up! No, you waited 4 years. We're waiting 10. It's different. You don't get it. That pissed me off.
There was a lot of posts going around of like, Chainsaw Man fans, don't go review bomb Bleach. Bleach, don't go review bomb Chainsaw Man. Because they're like, weren't they like neck and neck on anime list or something?
I think FMA beat Bleach, but then FMA, like, they let Bleach stay in the top 2 on like IMDb or something.
Crazy.
I forget.
Man, Full Metal Alchemist can't be that good.
I actually quite like Full Metal Alchemist.
But it ain't got nothing going on right now. It's being now Bleach, and that's crazy.
Because it's that good. It's the Breaking Bad of anime.
it might just be their alchemy, crystal meth.
And the Wire. Wait, it is the Breaking Bad.
They're alchemists. They're doing chemistry.
Alphonse, we have to cook.
Jesse.
That's fun. Jesse.
I am the one with the metal arm.
Jesse, I am Full Metal. He's not even Full Metal. He only has an arm and a leg. He's a liar.
He's the half metal alchemist. His brother.
Yeah, he's the half metal alchemist. He's also a half. He's short as fuck.
No, don't call him. That's his gimmick. He gets mad.
No, not Vic Mignogna. I make a joke about that. Is that poorly?
Well, I think we've come to the end of this week.
No, we can't end.
Yes, we can.
But more Bleach, more Mid-Saw Man. BleachSaw Man in Chain.
So, next week we're very likely to have a guest.
Hopefully.
In which, they'll have...
We're going to talk about these shows again next week.
That depends on what our guest wants. The guest controls the second half.
We're gonna bring it up anyway. So, guys, what did you think of Chainsaw Man this week?
But yeah,
for Bleach Monday.
Geats was good as usual this week. I hope he keeps it up. Bleach, as someone who wasn't a Bleach fan, very, very entertaining. Very entertaining. Chainsaw Man.
Show ever made. I'll never be happy again.
Chainsaw Man. I can't think these next 12 weeks are gonna be a fucking roller coaster for me.
Chainsaw Man, third greatest show ever made.
Second
is Breaking Bad.
I hope these next 11 songs we hear are great.
I hope I have a better opinion of the next episode.
But for now, we have been College Boy. Definitely read the manga.
We're Shin College Boy Taisen. We retitled
Shin College Boy Taisen. We have been directed by Hideaki Anno.
Written by Taite Kubo and
Tatsuki Fujimoto.
Written by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Voice acted by Johnny Young Bosch.
Return for next week for the return of Ultra CBT.
Wow. Return of Ultra CBT. Oh god, I'm not ready for that. That was funny. Somebody was like, why'd you guys title it that? I was like, we didn't know!
Yeah, Jacob is now posting the screenshot of my live reaction to realizing our initial was CBT on Discord.
You realized? Did you see the sunrise?
I think the sun actually set after that, bro. I was in despair.
Are you burning like the fires? Are you gonna rewrite the story? What am I doing? God, follow us on Twitter, @Guysolg, @Ghially.
The L's are eyes. Have a good night or morning, everyone. Good. Bye.
Bonkai.
Bonkai.